Hi boys and girls. I'm really excited to make another musical instrument with you today. Last time, we made shakers out of toilet paper rolls. Today, we're gonna make castanets, but not any castanet. Colorful animal castanets. Do you know where they have castanets? In Spain, where my sister lives. So here's what we'll need. First of all, we're gonna need cardboard. Miss Susie's been using the same box for a lot of different projects. We'll also need colorful paper. Now this paper is a little thick. If you have that, that would be great. Now if you don't have colorful paper, you can always use white paper and color it yourself, any color you like. You will need a magic marker to draw some of the faces. Do you know what makes our clicking sound? Bottle caps. You'll just need 2 bottle caps. Now for his eyes. This was really fun. Miss Susie did have Google eyes from another project I was doing, but not everybody has Google eyes in their house. So I went around to find other circles for eyes. And look what I found. A whole package of shiny dots. So I made my elephant. With shiny dots for eyes. But you might not have shiny dots. I found buttons. Lots and lots of buttons. So I made my tiger with buttons. And he's got 2 different color eyes. Did you see that? And here's something that we have that's a circle. We don't use them in Canada anymore. Pennies. I wonder what you have at your house that you could use for eyes. We'll need scissors and glue. Now for the clacker part, Miss Susie used a hot glue gun so it would stay really tight. You'll need help if you're going to do that. But if you use the regular glue and you can wait for a while, that'll work too. Shall we get started? The first thing we're going to do is cut a strip of cardboard. Now cardboard is pretty thick, so you'll need help cutting that. Just like that. Now Miss Susie already has a piece that she cut. Just like that. Then we're going to want to take 2 bottle caps and we're going to glue it, one on this side and one on the other. One on this side and one on the other. So when you fold it over, it goes clack, clack, clack. So this is where you're going to need to glue the 2 together. Glue one here and glue one there. You can use the regular glue or hot glue. But again, if you use hot glue, make sure you have somebody to help. Just like that. I can't really show you much more. I'm going to put that to the side to dry. The next thing we're going to do going to make this pretty. You could actually use the castanet just like this, but we wanted to have some fun. This is where you come in with your paper. We want to cut the paper just a little bit bigger than the cardboard. Just a little bit, but we're going to cut the strip all the way down. Remember how we just cut one thick strip of cardboard? Well, we're going to do the same with the paper. One big strip, just a little bit bigger. I'll show you why we're doing it all the way first, after I do this. See how it goes a lot higher? We want it a little bit bigger here. We're going to cut it just above where the cardboard is. This is what we're going to use to make its head. So now this, once you've cut the strip, you can glue this or you can tape it. Either one works. I think I might tape it this time. I think my alligator fell. I'm going to trim this. One's a little bit too big. You can either glue all along here or tape. Taping's going to be a little faster today. You want to fold it over before you tape it finally, just so you see where the paper is going to wind up. I'm going to put an extra piece of tape here. Actually, you know what tape I like to use? Packaging tape, because it's super sticky. Now here's the next part. We get to make the head. So we're going to take the other piece of paper and fold it in half, just like that. We're going to make a tent out of it. On the bottom here, we'll fold just a little bit, just the edges, so we have somewhere to tape. And his head is going to sit right on top, just like that. Got it? Can you see? But before we tape it to here, we're going to make its face. Let's see, what should we do first? Maybe we'll do the ears first. When Miss Susie cuts out ears, I like to fold the paper in half like this, because then when I cut them, the ears are exactly the same on either side. Here's some ears I cut before. You see that little part here? That's so we have something to tape. So when we cut his ears, we'll make a little spot. You might need help for this part too. Cut a little bit in. This part right here. And then just cut an ear. Now I like bigger on the top, smaller on the bottom. Or however you think an elephant ear is. It almost looks like a kidney bean. Or trim it if you want. see how they're exactly the same? We'll just cut in the middle. You know, I'll bet somebody could draw an ear for you. And you could cut out the drawing. So, does that look about right? I think so. Because remember, when we put the tent down, it's going to be like this. This is going to be where his face is. So we'll put his ears down. And then we'll get a piece of tape and tape the ears in. That was super easy. I taped the ears in on this side, so when you turn it around, there are his ears. I think he's coming along. Next, how about his nose? It's pretty much the same. Only we don't need to go up the whole way for the nose. Now an elephant's nose kind of goes in. It starts wide and then it goes thin. Hey, that rhymed, and I didn't even know it. So we're just going to cut it so his trunk goes in. What Susie likes to do with the trunk is kind of fold it back and forth so it gives it a little bit of character. You know how an elephant has wrinkles in his nose? Well, this one's no exception. So we just go back and forth and back and forth. And then the last part, we're going to want a little bit of lip right here to tape. Let's see. Is that about right? I think so. So let's get a piece of tape. And add his nose. The great thing about the nose, is that you can play around with it. You can make it longer. You can make it shorter. If you wanted to add a little circle on the bottom, you could do that for the bottom of his trunk. What's he missing? That's right. Eyes. Shall we give him red eyes this time? Or blue eyes? I like the blue eyes. Or even pennies. I think I'm going to give him pennies. I wonder if they'll stay on. Pennies are pretty heavy. We have a special book that we use in class called Miss Mary Mack. And there's an elephant in that book that jumped the fence for 50 cents. So that's why I wanted to use those eyes, the pennies, because it makes sense. now that's a handsome looking elephant. And there's his body. Now that we're all done decorating, how about we add him on? Don't fall down, Pennies. I'm going to use the super strong tape for this one. We're going to tape his head right onto the castanet. You see how that tent came in handy? And there is our castanet. Whoop! I thought the pennies might fall off. He needs to dry before I'm ready to use him. Let's put him to the side. Isn't he handsome? I wonder what animal you'll decide to make. Here's my alligator. Miss Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, 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 has silver buttons, 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 all down her back, back, back. We'll see you next time.